Yo, 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 no, Uncle Neil. Today it is Uncle Terry, T. Fost.
Hello there,
Detroit
youth.
Media legend. Nice to see you, young
Always
man.
a pleasure.
You too. I'm Darren McCarty, four-time Stanley Cup champion of your Detroit Red Wings. This is Big D Energy, Spencer Raxter, Michael Gentry, always here with us. What's up, boys? On a Thursday. Good to see you, Terry.
Yeah, just chilling. I did my body pump class before the show today. Usually I do it after I do a show, but today.
And how do you feel? You know, a lot of times I'd say, look, as anybody who works out or athletes or whatever like that, it comes down to summertime. Do you like to get your workout in before you do your things? Do you like to do your things and then get a workout in? Notice any different? Are you more livelier? Are you more tired?
No, I'm not. I thought I was going to be more tired. I thought I'd be a little sluggish, but I'm not.
No.
I'm feeling good. I'm trying to get my arms to be a little bit bigger. I've always had little bird arms like this big around, so I'm trying to put a little girth on them.
Threads, they said, oh, look at those threads hanging from your shirt. Oh, Those are your arms? That's
wings.
Chicken wings?
Yep.
So your affinity for chicken wings has
I will knock them out if you give me a tray of them, but I don't want to walk around with chicken wings.
Well, there it is. Uncle Terry working on it. How was the holidays with Dr. Fauci and everything like that?
Dr. Fauci, and as usual, made me take a COVID test again. So I've had 23 COVID tests, tested positive once.
You are a professional athlete.
Yeah, and I'm telling her, no more. I put my foot. She wanted me to take another one. I put my foot down. I said, girl, no. I'm sick and tired of this. I don't have COVID. I'm good. So can we move on?
All right,
so
nice.
Dr. Fauci won't stop.
It won't stop. Will this be the end of it? Do you think that you might hit 25 tests before Christmas or before New Year's?
If we do, there's a possibility of a divorce.
There you go. You heard it here first. Big D Energy, Uncle T. Strife over there, but you'll figure it out. You asked a quick question before getting to the sports, but you asked me a question before we started the show about New Year's. Are you a ball drop, stay in sort of guy, or you're sort of a party guy? And you let me know that you think you've made one ball drop, and that was by accident
in the last 5 years.
5 years?
I'm not even up at midnight most of the time. Or at least 3 of the last 5 years. And one of the years,
you go to the bathroom or it's an accident.
One of the years I was up was only because I fell asleep like at 10 o'clock, woke up before midnight, so technically I was up.
Technically you're up and you watched it, so you got credit for that. Spenny, that counts, correct?
That counts.
Absolutely.
Counts, all right. But I used to be, before my 30s, I had to go out. Spend too much money on the little champagne toasts and little appetizers and little dinner and stuff. And
so Uncle Terry's experience, I guess, New Year's partying rule number. Did you miss out on anything?
I got sick of it. It's like I stopped having a good time. And when I think I was 25, I was at a New Year's Eve party. This is a real good one where we collapsed in the middle of the floor. So I was snuggled up with this honey bun, and then, and for you young people out there, honey bun is a female. So I snuggled up, and then it started getting real hot. I thought I was in front of a furnace, and I woke up, and she's like, big mouth, just blowing hot ass air, and I'm like, that's it for me. I'm done.
Fire breathing dragon.
Yeah, it was.
So that
fire
was
breathing
it.
Dragon.
Sent you back into your cave.
It was nothing I wanted to do with that.
Well, speaking about depressing times, and I don't know, I thought I could segue into this. Michael Gentry, talk to me right now. I'm going to spend a little time in the beginning about what's going on with our Red Wings right now, bud. They lost last night, 6-3 on the road. They've won 2 games of their last 11. I think they've won 2 games, am I correct, with Patrick Kane in the lineup?
Yeah, and it's obviously none of that goes on Patrick Kane. He's been playing outstanding, but It's just the goaltending problems are wreaking havoc, and defense. And defense, we've been preaching it all year. They're just letting teams get out in front, giving up way too many scoring opportunities. I don't know what moves you make at this point. Obviously, you brought Edmondson up, and hopefully he can make a difference moving forward. But the defense has just been struggling, and they need to get this goaltending situation figured out before they're too far out of the playoff picture.
Well, yeah, he hasn't, not one man, I don't care who it is, can save going on, and it's apparent, because here's the one thing, Mikey, and if you put all the goals, Terry, in the past 2-3 weeks on tape, how many of them are good NHL goals? A lot of them are of the soft variety, but to Mikey's point...
a lot of them are odd man rushes, which I have not seen this many. Particularly with a Red Wing team, even when they're bad, you don't see this many odd man rushes. So, I mean, Michael, you brought up, I don't know who you can bring in. I don't think you need to bring somebody in. I think you need to change a mindset.
Yeah.
This is a mindset to me about the defense. It goes beyond, they're playing bad defense, I think they're being too aggressive offensively sometimes, and they don't think, we don't want the other team to score.
I could ask you this, Terry. Do you see a lot of the things, maybe with what's going on defensively with the Pistons, going on defensively with the Red Wings?
I think it's different.
It is different?
I think the Pistons are just bad defenders. And I think the Wings are mediocre defenders who put themselves in bad positions where you can't recover and there's nothing you can do about it.
So you're telling me it's more of a system thing, and the system that they're trying it isn't working, because you're absolutely right. As far as we can point fingers at the goaltending and stuff like this, because it has to be a lot better, especially to win in this league. But the odd number rushes are ridiculous, and then where does that start? So if you can start it with we got to change whatever system. What was I preaching since Derek Lalonde? What was Derek Lalonde preaching, Mike, since he got here? The 1-1-3 or the 1-1-3? Well, there's no 1-1-3 going on. How do I know that? Because there's 3 at the end of that statement, and I never see 3 guys back inside my own zone. It's always 2, right? So to Terry's point, so I guess my question to you, because you're telling me you think it's more of a system than it is the players, because
it's a system and a mindset.
And I guess I'm trying to get the comparison where when you look at the Pistons, they just don't have.
They can't
ability.
do it.
Their lack of talent.
Right.
So when it comes to
the Red Wings can do it, they're just not.
Okay, and there you go. And as far as I wanted to give everybody, you know what? Your goalie of the future is playing right now. Except Mikey's playing over in the World Junior Championships for Team USA.
Playing for the Spartan Dogs.
Spartan Dog, Trey Augustine getting it done over there, Spenny. So I wanted to ask you, because it was after the tweet that you sent out, right, when Patrick Kane scored a magnificent overtime shootout goal for a win, that what was the quote tweet? Because it was brilliant.
Yeah, it was that, I love that we signed Kaner, but if they want to make a push for the playoffs, they need to bring up Edmondson, they need to trade for Attendee.
And right now, I just don't, that the goaltending, I think to Terry's point of view, or to what he's seeing, it's system. How many other teams give away that many odd numbered rushes?
No, I just don't see it. I mean, usually NHL goals, a lot of them obviously 5-on-5, and somebody just makes a brilliant play, or they're in the slot, or they move the puck around and get an open shot. This one's just 2-on-1, 3-on-2, 4-on-1. I mean, how are you going to stop that? And
there's another really disparaging thing that you recognize that, and I'm talking from the point of view of what's the difference between what I'm watching right now, the Detroit Red Wings, and what I played on when we were good winning championships. Terry, how many times do you see with this team either tie the game, take the lead, get up a couple goals, and then that next shift or whatever else, it's just the next few shifts is that there's a goal in the back of their net, boom, bing, bang, boom. There's no momentum stopper. Back in our day, like we were talking about before, we had this thing called, this is like honey buns for all you, this is learning, honey buns, this is left wing lock. Back in the day was when there was honey buns, when we were talking about the girls and stuff. But we played this left wing lock. And to paraphrase, it was the left winger and the centerman. Either one of them were responsible for the left side. If you separated the hockey rink into 3 lanes, right? So your left defenseman would be in charge of the middle, which would be your best player, Nick Lidstrom, right? So you'd have all these 3 lanes, and no matter what, anything could go on in the offensive zone as long as somebody, usually the responsible one, the center or the left winger, except on the grind line, because we were also responsible. It could be any one of us. Go figure. Scotty let all 3 of us play that way. But my point is, there was commitment. When you saw us as talented as we were, ready to shut it down, and we could score goals at this pace or even at a better pace than what these guys are, right?
Right. And you know what the first thing I heard when you guys started talking about left wing lock? They got all this talent. They can score all these goals. Why they want to go into a shell? It sure did work.
Right, because what happens, guys? I don't care. And this is the progress of the season, right? Are they entertaining, Spencer?
Yes.
Can they score goals, Michael?
Yes.
Absolutely, right?
And they can lose games.
But Terry, what is most important in sports, in all sports?
Winning games.
Winning games and preventing the other team to score, right? You don't have to score an exorbitant amount of time. Football's the same way, basketball.
Or with the Pistons, the most important thing is passing out toys to little kids.
Well,
it's not winning.
That's the 2000. That's this year's Piston. And Tom Gordon. Have you spoke on that, by the way? Have you spoke on him? Have you come out and said what you thought?
Yeah, I just thought his comments are ridiculous. Because obviously Piston fans are frustrated, and I'm frustrated because this was really how I got my name out there through the Pistons, covering the bad boys and stuff. This is embarrassing to me, and I'm not even part of the organization. But when you come out and say, well, I know we're losing, but, we do a lot of stuff for the community. We're making billion-dollar commitments. Yeah, you're making billion-dollar commitments because it's going to allow you to make billions of dollars. Fans don't pay $50, $100, whatever, to go to a game because you're giving out toys on Christmas. They want to see your team win. It's embarrassing to be a Piston player, to be a Piston fan, to be a Piston rooter, because they've lost 28 games in a row. I want them to set the record now, because to me, it's reached a point. I don't give a damn what happens with them. The product is so pathetic, and then the owner comes out like, we're passing out scooters and etch-a-sketches to the kids. Who cares?
You're trying, and Terry, I think you speak for a lot of us trying to be connected to this team and this organization, and it's not, I hear it. I don't hear a player out of your mouth or saying like that, but it's like the organization. What are the things that I know, or I would ask you, is aren't the most, I guess, charitable people? They don't tell you about it.
Right.
They don't tell you it's it's just don't you find out by hey, who's that name? What's that name of that building? Oh, they gave millions of dollars towards this. What's it? Right? You find out in perpetuity, which is after usually they're gone.
Every sports franchise in this city, and I would think probably across the nation, do charitable things around the holidays. But the only one that's got little videos coming out is Tom Gore's and the Pistons. Like, they got to feel like they're a part of this community.
Well, real quick there, what do you say when your owner comes out and he goes, well, if you don't, go by the wins and losses, who says that?
No
bro?
one says that. You know what I'm thinking? Somebody needs to bitch slap him. Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking. Because I'm sorry, sports is about winning and losing. Sports is about, are you in position to win championships? Are you in the position to get into the playoffs? That's what it is. Cut and dry.
So what do you take? Because, when the fact of having a conversation with Tom Gores and stuff is the fact that he will spend money. Because he'll spend money to, but he doesn't spend the right money, does he?
Right. No, like Monty Williams.
Yes.
I don't want to coach your team. Here's some more millions. I still don't want to coach your team. Here's some more money. Then it's like, oh shoot, there's so much money. Okay, I'll do it.
And look at where he's in now. Remember, karma is real. When we come back, we got to say, hey, might as well. There's people taking sort of shots at us from around the city. We're Detroit versus everything, Terry. So you and me are sitting here. We're going to address it. But first, if you need to address your hair, why don't you go to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and register to win a trip of your dreams, all expenses paid, suite to the 2024 NCAA basketball tournament. That's right, no expense spared for you and five of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
And if you want some meat, you just got to go to Fairway. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Co. has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks or order online at fairwaypackingco.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 to your closing costs. That's right, $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
Welcome back, Big D Energy, on this Thursday, bridging Christmas and New Year. Darren McCarty, Uncle Terry, Foster in for Neil Rule, Michael Gentry, and Spencer Rax here as always. Terry, you were just talking about, we're talking about Tom Gores coming out and telling us how charitable he was, and he pretty much said, dude, your charity is going to make you millions of dollars.
But he also said this, without saying it, the fans, you're kind of stupid. I'm not selling the team. That's a ridiculous thing. But when fans chant sell the team, I don't think they really care if he sells the team or not. I think what's happening is people are frustrated. Do something. Sell the team, fire the general manager, fire something. Do something. And then this guy comes out, well, changes are going to be made. Now, this is how ridiculous this is. Changes are going to be made. Oh, is anybody going to be fired? I didn't say that, but changes are going to be made. Okay, I got news for you, Tom Gores. Every organization, every season makes changes. Players change. Same team doesn't come back next year. Assistant coaches leave. Some come in. Assistant general managers come and go. There's changes every year. To me, that's not saying anything. That's like icing. Let me just shoot the puck down the ice, and so people will get off my ass. That's what that's all about.
Okay, so don't expect any changes. The fact is the only way that if you're like real Pistons fans don't show up. Is that the biggest way that a fan can affect? You know, we've said it for 30 years with the Lions, which is, never
Right.
going to happen. But is that, like, really the only way? And still, that probably doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think to reach him because he won't have anyone to throw T-shirts to. So that could be something very detrimental.
So
to
you're
him.
telling me Terry is getting worse before it gets any better? Don't expect any
Right, but
any
at least
legit changes.
people still sort of care.
And I think it's because they care for the players, Spenny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we see this absolute. This had to be what it was like back in medieval times when you had a donkey king, right? You just had like, what is this guy doing? So the people had to sort of surround to. Is that analogy
French
offer?
Revolution, Pistons 2023.
But you know what? I'm going to disagree with that. I think they still care about the organization. When you look at the Piston players, who do you really care about?
Yeah, but you told me you don't care. So if you don't, nobody cares about the organization.
But they're still chanting sell the team, so they must care. But when you go there and there's nobody there and the people there aren't protesting or screaming something or screaming at the owner, that's the most dangerous thing, because then apathy sets in and then you have to do something stupid just to get people to care about your organization. It's better for them to be angry than to just not give a damn.
Okay, so how about for all the people who are like you, that have like, and I consider myself more on that followed you this Pistons ride and the love of this, but you have to sort of like walk away. What's gonna reignite your fire? Is there something that he can do? Because right now there's nothing this man can say or do because he's shown you. Is there a pathway? Is it a move for a player? Is it an executive move? Is it Spenny? Who are all the guys' heads you're calling for?
Armin, Ed Tellum, Troy Weaver, get them all out of there.
Is that the?
Yeah, I think
okay.
that will get people's attention. I'm telling him, what does he do? He's an agent.
He doesn't know.
This is Tom Gore's boy. And what Tom Goris is doing, he's bringing in people that he likes. Like the Blake Griffin trade to bring in Blake Griffin to the Pistons. That wasn't a move to make the Pistons a championship team. That was a fanboy, Tom Goris, bringing in one of his boys because he liked Blake Griffin because they used to talk a lot in Los Angeles. And I'm convinced that was a Tom Goris trade. Come on in here. If we trade for you, are you going to act a fool? And Blake said, no, of course not. And they traded for him.
Yeah, with all that money. That's the one thing, right? Having deep pockets and we complain about owners that won't spend, but what about owners that you can also, Terry, can't you overspend wrongly and really hurt your organization too? And
Yeah,
that people
can.
think that
I
if
think,
you have an owner that has an open pocketbook that you're safe, that you can buy your way out of it. Well, I mean, if he's smart, you should be able to, right, at some point. But if he's not, this could go even worse, can it?
Yeah. Maybe the terminology we should use is we want an owner who spends wisely. When you pay a lot of money for a coach who doesn't want to be here, is he really going to be motivated? When you pay a lot of money for a guy who's on his last leg, does that really help the organization? It's not the money that wins championships. It's people who win championships.
So is that what you're saying? Because I don't hear that, and I hear about Troy Weaver more and more and more. But is it the Monty Williams passion, the fact that he's just here for the check, and this is at the end of it?
Yeah, I think.
So is it a
games,
coaching? Is it like a coaching thing too? Like you were saying towards.
But there's so many bad layers going on with this team. You have bad ownership, you have bad management, you have bad players. So you put all that in a mix and you lose 28 games in a row. You have people saying, well, they're going to finish 2-80, and guess what? I'm not even laughing at them. That's how sad this is. Now, I don't think they're going to finish 2-80, but if you walk up to me and say the Pistons are going to be 2-80, guess what? I'm not going to look at you and say, man, what kind of fool are you? I'm not going to do that because we don't know where this is headed.
Well, will you let us know when it's going to get better? Or when it's not going to get better any soon. So no. What if you're a player in this organization? What if you are the Cade Cunningham who's talking about being Noah and going down with the boat and stuff, about being, but he's the one who's trying to be accountable here. Is he like pretty much just a martyr for better terms than
you know
not?
what? I've seen a difference in Cade. I think Cade is finally getting pissed off. But I think you got too many guys that are like, oh, dude, did my best. Didn't win tonight. We'll get them next time. No. Somebody needs to blow up that dressing room. And maybe the guy is Cade Cunningham. He's the leader of this organization. Somebody needs a player, not fans, players need to tell Tom Gores. I know you met with him. You need to tell him, dude, let's get this shit together.
So, Terry, and you can never compare any other Pistons team, right? I know people are comparing about the teal, but like back in the 80s or the late 80s before Isaiah or whatever, like this, they weren't the powerful organization. They were sort of like needed the spark and something like this. Like it's maybe not ownership-wise hasn't been the problem, but we've been in these dark, murky waters before, haven't we?
Yeah, it have. I think the Pistons, for the most part, has been a bad organization. Terrible. But they had the run with Isaiah Thomas, and they had the run with the going to work.
So those
Pistons.
two runs take them out of terrible.
Right. Takes them out of terrible.
Because they have those two runs, they're out of terrible. But
now, other people will bring up, well, when Doug Collins was here, they won 50 games. You're right, but that was on, I'm going to say quicksand, because players were revolting. Players wanted to kill Doug Collins, and so they were playing well despite him. But then for the most part, it's been a horrible, horrible organization. They're bad in Fort Wayne. They're bad when they came to Detroit. They had Bob Lanier and Dave Bing, two Hall of Fame players playing at the same time. They couldn't beat anybody. I used to go down to Cobo and watch them just get their asses kicked by the...
That's the whole point, Terry. Like, I think that of anybody in the city, like, you're one of the ones, and why, people might in the chat thread, and, I don't apologize, to the fact to no one's covered this. You've seen more basketball. You love this organization as much as anybody who's ever played, for the Pistons. So I just wanted your sort of take, because you've seen different inclinations of it.
Yeah. Bro, what if Isaiah Thomas were on this team? He would have blown up the LCA by now.
Now is that Isaiah Thomas from when he immediately came in the organization, or would this be Isaiah Thomas 2 years in?
No, it was him from the word go, because when he came in, the Pistons were not interested in winning championships. Yeah, they wanted to win it, but their whole mindset was, let's try to win our 50 games and win a couple playoff series. And Isaiah Thomas was the one that said, no, that's not good enough. We're in it to win championships, so we're not in it at all. So they had a mindset of, let's just be competitive and let's give it the old college try. Isaiah Thomas was the one that said, no, we're going to try to do better than this. And I don't think you have a player with the mindset of, let's turn this into a championship organization. You have an owner. I know people keep calling Tom Gores an absentee owner. I think the main problem with him is he's just a fan. He's like a fan who owns a team and doesn't have that I want to win at all costs. Because look at that. Dude is a billionaire. His main hobby, if you want to call it, is buying companies and then tearing them down and watch them appreciate. He's got everything he wants with the Pistons. He bought the Pistons for like $350 million. They're worth over $1 billion now. He's won. Guess who's not winning? Me, you, Gentry, Spenny, everybody out there. You're the ones not winning.
Well, where you can win, one place you can win is Hamlin Pub, because you can go to one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone's a regular, whether you're enjoying half-off pizza on a Thursday or game day specials available during all Michigan sports and NFL games. Hamlin Pub is the place. Visit a location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports. You could try that brisket mac and cheese. It is so good. Make sure you check it out. It's Hamlin Pub, your favorite pub for all things sports.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the steak shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer. Make sure you guys go check them out. There are more locations than I can count. They're all over the state of Michigan. Go make some things happen. Get a car. Best prices guaranteed. You can check out their location in Novi. Hit up our guy Ryan Palter. He'll take care of you at Feldman Chevrolet. And you know Big D Energy and the Morning Woodward Show are there every other Monday. So make sure you go to Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Big D Energy here on a Thursday. D-Mac, Uncle T Foss in the building for Neil.
Hello.
BMG, Spenmo Rocks. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate you getting granular there with your thoughts on what Tom Gore said and where the Pistons are at. Lorena Rios. I will not ask Terry Foster what Black Santa thinks of that, because Black Santa didn't even put any Pistons or anything basketball related in this town on any list this year. He's so disgusted. In fact, I heard Tom Gore's offered 10,000 free basketballs, and Black Santa just said, don't.
No, we good.
Just don't. Which is sad. But you know what's not sad, Terry?
What?
How about those Lions, baby?
How about that?
NFC Championship. And if you haven't seen the excitement all across this network, led off by our boy Booner with the proverbial slamming the Kool-Aid, which he's been doing, which was pretty cool to see get picked up by Amon-Ra St. Brown and Dan Campbell and everybody. Everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid right now. As we get excited, before, we talk about, going into Dallas, we touched on it yesterday, we can get granular on that. I wanted to start here, though, Terry, because, not everybody around the country is speaking so highly of your Detroit Lions, and you thought, D-Mac, wait, isn't everybody across this country drinking the Kool-Aid of the Lions and seeing what we're seeing? And no, apparently not.
Yeah, we have a quote from Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh,
this
let's
comes
go.
From Lions on Tap. Larry Fitzgerald said, a team that hasn't won a division championship since 1993, it's hard for you to take them that serious. Yes, they're playing really well, but they are the Detroit Lions. That is from Larry Fitzgerald.
Now, that's from Larry Fitzgerald. I heard Aaron Rodgers, too, on the Pat McAfee say something about it, which I always cheer for the goal, and I don't like the Lions winning because I always cheer for that, which I get, right? A guy who played in the division, it's the same thing with me and Colorado, even though there's no division, no rivalry, stuff like this. But what do you think about Larry Fitzgerald, who hadn't won anything, and a phenomenal receiver, Hall of Famer, stuff like this, but it's not.
I think Larry Fitzgerald comes from the school of ignorance. If the Lions had been doing things the old way, William Clay Ford Sr. interfering, and they just luck into something, then he'd be absolutely right. But what he doesn't understand is the organization is different, the mindset is different. All the meddlesome ways how this used to work, they don't do it anymore. It's like, people are always asking for an expansion team to come to Detroit in the NFL. This is like the Lions being an expansion team from the front office on up and then keeping their players. So I don't think Larry Fitzgerald understands that. I understand why he would say something like that, but it comes from the school of ignorance. Because he doesn't totally understand what's happening here in Detroit. This is different now.
Well, look at what we talked about last segment, or came in with like the shit show and the dumpster fire of what the Detroit Pistons, from the top, or how we're viewing ownership or self-awareness. Let's talk. I put a tweet out. I mean, if there's anybody in this town that deserves their flowers more than anybody, it's Sheila Ford Hamp, right?
Yeah,
because
she's the MVP of this.
So of all of right, because and Terry, here's not because folks, do you not remember not only in taking over for her mother and being the patriarch, put people in place, but she doubled down.
She did.
She doubled her ass down at what? What was the record? 1-6?
1-6.
And 2-13 or whatever, and stood there, Terry, in front of the podium, and to everybody and said, no, these are my guys. These are the right guys.
Right.
Now, and
it wasn't select media. She just said it in front of the media.
She just came out and just sort of said, like, when you go back, like, look at the whole, and that's why it's different in the ownership, but the way that, like, the Pistons were talking about to the way that the Lions are run now, to putting everybody in place, to whatever like that. I think, and I've said it all along, right? It's not the same old Lions. It's more or less the same old Lions fans.
Yeah.
Learning how to win. But I think that now, throughout this season, are we coming to accept that this is becoming the norm more? Because I don't care what Larry Fitzgerald, I don't care what anybody else says outside of here. They don't live it like we live it. Just the same way as when we were talking about the Pistons. So, to the fact of how this ignorance that Larry has is something that slowly but surely or quicker than not, the rest of this country or people like Larry that have this opinion of the Lions.
Yeah, Larry Fitzgerald, I'm going to predict in the next couple years is going to come out with an entirely different statement about the Detroit Lions. Because this is just the beginning. This team is very, very young. You can make a point that maybe they shouldn't be at this level yet. That Brad Holmes needs a couple more drafts. He needs to get these guys with a little bit more experience, and that they're going to be better. This is the ground floor. We always talk about windows. Some teams have a 2 or 3 year window. The Lions are staring at a picture window, one of those big windows on a skyscraper where you can see for millions of miles. They have a huge window in front of them. The biggest challenge now for Brad Holmes, who's putting this thing together, is one, conversations I've had over the years, maybe the Lions win 4 or 5 games in a row. Fans are all excited. Oh, man, we're going to do it this year. I say, guys, this organization still sucks. They're on a little bit of a roll. They're going to come back down to earth. This is the first time I've said, no, this is different. This team is better than the ones in the 90s with Barry Sanders and Herman Moore and Lomas Brown. Because at that time...
Say it again. Terry Foster, what did you just say? This 2023 Detroit Lions team
is better than the Lion teams of the 90s with Barry Sanders, Herman Moore, and Lomas Brown.
Wow. Spenny, did you hear that?
I heard that.
I mean, you weren't... That means a lot because you saw it on videotape and you weren't there in the flesh and stuff. But what does that mean to you?
It means a lot. I mean, my dad has said the same thing, that he thinks this is the most complete Lions team he's ever seen in his life. We have Herman Moore on the heavyweights about once a week, and we talk to him about it, and he talks about how complete this team is and how much you can do with the different guys you have. And I would agree. I still think they got to work a little bit on that defense to get a little bit better, but in my lifetime, this is the most complete team I've seen the Lions put out there for sure.
Now, Mike, you're a little bit older, a little bit more experienced and stuff like this, but when Terry Foster says something sort of like that. Is this along the same lines of what Spenny's saying?
Yeah, no, kind of. I agree. Obviously, I wasn't around or alive to watch those Lions teams, but as Spencer said, this is definitely the most complete teams. Obviously, this team is better than the Matt Stafford teams. Maybe not defensively with Sue and all them, but it definitely means a lot. And this Lions team has a lot of room to make some noise and do something that the city's been waiting to do for God knows how long.
Now here's the difference between the two teams. Yes, that team in the 90s they're going to move the ball up and down the field on these guys, and they're going to score some points on the 2023 team. But what will happen during that is they'll jump off sides. They make this critical, stupid mistakes where that prevents them from winning. This team, one of the things I like about this team is they don't make a ton of mistakes. Sometimes the defense looks awful, correct, but they're not interfering. They're not jumping off sides. They've done that a couple games, but that was when they weren't mentally into it. But for the most part, this team is mentally tough. They're motivated every day by a coach who, you know what, Dan Campbell, he's a genuine guy, but he's a bullshitter. He can convince you that you're better than you are. He can convince you that you can play with anybody.
You say bullshitter and I say motivator.
It's the same.
Bullshit
motivator.
But don't you get motivated by things that he believes that you can accomplish?
Sure.
The seer of the future. And so, don't worry, Spenny, that was just a solar flare. Yeah, it's something. Thanks for everybody
Quick little flash
for sticking around. But a lot, most people, Terry, agree with what you're saying, and I think, but it's okay. Like, tell everybody, right? Because I say it's okay because this is a new feeling, and maybe it's like you had a couple girlfriends growing up and maybe that didn't work out, and you changed the way with this one because she's special, and you're doing it, but it feels weird because you didn't do it the same way. As Lions fans, it's okay, right?
Right, it's okay. And the other thing is with the 90s teams, they would get to a certain point and they knew the ass kicking was coming. They wouldn't say it, but they knew it was coming. This team, they think they can beat anybody, which they probably can't. They probably in a playoff situation. They won't beat San Francisco in San Jose.
And I like what you said, Spenny, is the fact that they ain't done.
No.
They ain't done building it. We still have holes, but the self-awareness, the imperative of what these holes are and where they got to get better, I'm sure they are. Just like where I got to go get cat food later.
Well, there's only one place you should go if you got to go get cat food, and that is obviously Premier Pet Supply.
Meow, meow.
Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers with one major difference: family and locally owned and operated for over 30 years. Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same-day local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best at www.premierpetsupply.com.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Just in time for football, Glorious Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash-infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good. It's like the whip for the first playoff win in 31 years. A gassy, aggressive strain named in honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you are missing out. They are so smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispenser for 25% off. Code word Woodward Glorious. Or go to www.gloriouscanna2ns.com. Big D Energy back here on a Thursday. D-Mac.
Brother, you know what I am?
What are you?
A dinosaur.
Oh, dude, wait, hold on. You can't just throw that out. What
Okay.
kind of dinosaur?
A dinosaur.
Top 5 dinosaurs, Spenny.
That's good.
Top 5 dinosaurs.
Now, I thought about, when you go around the community, how many people in the metro area were at the last Lions playoff win? At the last Lions home playoff game? There's not many people out there who can say that. I was there, so I think I'm either old fossil or a dinosaur or something.
You're a little bit old. Like, so I was that was 93, right? So that was our first the home
91 game was 92. It was a 91 season, but it was actually in 1992.
Okay. So that was the year before I came.
There you go.
I wasn't even here, but I was 20. I wasn't even old enough to drink. But when that happened in the state of Michigan, across the border in the country of Canada, the state of Canada, the country of Canada.
Is Canada a state now?
You're allowed. Well, it always has been. We're South Detroit, baby. Journey sings about us.
Oh, that's right.
Born and raised in South Detroit.
I got the T-shirt.
I love it. But you are a dinosaur. What kind of dinosaur would you be? Are you like because you're not like a T. Well, I guess
No, T-Rex is mean.
Yeah, you're not mean. You're more of a Stegosaurus or
the guy with the little is that the one with the little horns on there, and
That's Triceratops.
Yeah, that guy. I mean,
Terry B. Triceratops.
He looks menacing, but he's not that bad of a guy.
Oh, you just let him go? Is that the rhinoceros one?
Yeah.
He's
like,
all right.
I know you messed up, but go ahead, have a nice day.
I love it. Speaking of messing up and not having a nice day, let's get back to talking about these Detroit Lions and
I got the injury report from yesterday's practice.
Benny, just so give it to me a little bit.
Yeah, so we got Taylor Decker, no practice. I'd assume that's just some, veteran stuff. He's a veteran guy. He doesn't really need to be out there as much. You've got, let's see what else we got here. We got Brock Wright has been out. Jason Kabinda, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, both having limited practices. Derek Barnes practicing in full. You like to see that. Jerry Jacobs, Frank Ragnow, Penny Sewell, all with full practices.
Okay, so anything on that list or that this week? Isn't it what the luxury? When you pulled that up, Spenny, my first inclination was I don't care.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? All these guys are hurt and they don't play and whatever like that. God damn, that sucks. I want that second, and it doesn't look like we're going to be able to win this game and stuff like that. But task at hand, winning that first playoff game. If coach and trainer said that they shouldn't play, then I
think Dan Campbell is doing something with this roster. His Wednesday, list is long as far as guys not practicing. I don't think he cares. As long as he has them for Thursday or Friday, he can get them ready for Sunday's game or Saturday's game or whenever they're going to play. So I don't pay attention to the Wednesday injury list because it's going to be long.
So I guess, Terry, and does it change? Covering do different teams do it differently where they will never put for example, it wouldn't be that long on a Wednesday. They would sort of wait. Other teams or the norm to where it's been.
I think Dan Campbell, because he played in the league, he understands how your body responds. He understands what guys can skip some practices and still be good on Sundays. And so I think he uses Wednesday as his day of rest.
So I guess I'm more so on Spenny. Maybe or the rules, but it go from out to doubtful to questionable to all this stuff. What, as a fan, what do you want? Right? What day? Is it Thursday? Is it Friday?
It's Thursday.
So Thursdays. So coming out, we'll see more.
Right.
That'll.
In Dan Campbell's world, it's Thursday.
Okay, and that's it. In other coaches' worlds, it's different.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
They are playing on Saturday this week, though. So
does that change, Terry? Does that turn Wednesday into
Not really. I think what you're doing is giving them back-to-back days off, Tuesday and then Wednesday, because I think they practice Monday this week. So I just think he's a guy who's been in the league, understands how tough it is to rebound, and he studies his guys. There's certain guys who can go every day, and he just lets them roll. But there's certain guys he's like, okay, I'm holding you back for a day this week.
Spenny, what do I always go back to? Right? There's always, I mean, DMAC, you go everywhere. I get it. But what do I always, when Dan Campbell, 2021 press conference, at some point when he addressed, and he said, and it's out there somewhere because it sticks in my brain, he realized that he had to act as if he was going to lose every starter on his roster, and how would we as an organization, him as a coach, general manager, how would we react to that? Is that not what we're all talking about knowing your players, about knowing when to get them ready? We're talking about Dan Campbell as far as getting his team on the field. We were mentioning about putting this team together. The whole why it isn't the same old Lions, because what do they do, Terry? What does Brad Holmes do with the draft? Drafts guys that play immediately. Right. More, especially like, look, we went through it yesterday, right? You name 5, 6, 7 guys off of each draft that he's had that are playing in the league or having an impactful on your team. Re-signing some of your guys. You mentioned it last segment. The object now is to find a way to re-sign the guys that you drafted, because why? Now here's the other problem, Spenny, because you're drafting guys that are good players, so eventually good players like.
That's right, and you know, you mentioned Sheila Hamp as being an MVP in this. Here's the other thing she's done: she hasn't put pressure on them to do this immediately. She's allowed Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, who I think like to do things at a slower pace. They like to develop guys. They like to develop the team, and she's allowed them to do that.
Well, do you know that, Terry? Because he didn't say slash and slay and whatever on the way. He said biting kneecaps. You know, biting and chewing takes more time, and then if you don't want to be doing that as you're moving. So you have to attack, methodically. And
how many chews you got to get in? 50? 60?
Well, I don't know what the proper. I'm going to go to Spenny for that one. Spenny, what's the proper amount of chews? We're talking about biting the kneecaps, proper chew, but it's better for the digestion if you stop and chew. Correct?
Yeah, you got to stop and chew. I would say about at least 10 chews per bite, at least.
For a kneecap, there's some bone in there, brother.
Yeah. Got strong teeth.
Yeah, but we're lions. Yeah. We're lions, dude. I mean, they are built that way. So, does anybody else worried about, or does it upset you, or what with the looking at guys that might be injured or might not play? Like stuff like that. I fully expect. And what it's shown, to your point, Terry, what it's shown Dan Campbell, his Wednesdays to his Thursdays, is it's usually half, right? Or a third. Mm-hmm. Like, you doing what guys had. Now, is that league, like, where you have to report every little thing to the league? Like, what if I don't put a guy on that's, like...
You can get fined for improperly reporting injuries. You can get fined for that.
And then that's because of betting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you hold them out. They don't practice, so nobody can question that. Maybe the guy is not seriously injured, but you talked to him and said, "Coach, I can't go today," or "I can go, but it's going to be really rough for me." So he says, "I'll hold you out."
So the holding out is also like when you that's the buffer between putting them on the list and putting them off the list.
You have to let the NFL and like the other team know, I think, like a couple hours before game time or something like that.
Well, Lorena Rios, like the new statistic, chews per kneecap. Jay Crow's at 71. We're all good. Real cream wheat. Also better to digest. Take your time and chew, right? Because the kneecap, there's cartilage in there. Proper digestive. Denver Blair. I like everybody's on the same wavelength, right? The protein, whey protein. Exactly, you're getting everything there. But the fact is that you're hammering it as you go. You're taking care of it. And isn't this the way that it's supposed to be done? Because I could say the same thing with Steve Yzerman, right? Where it's a little bit slower, his pace. He's going to give you everything that we want, not when we want it, when he wants to, and his pace is a little bit slower. That's what you're saying. Be patient.
Because the philosophy is you got to build it, let it crystallize, and you can't have big gaps in there. So you got to do it the right way, and it's going to maybe take a little bit longer, and fans are going to be calling for your ass. And but you know what? Sheila Hamp, I would say, hey, just take your time. I got you covered. I'll come out in support of you. Just make sure that we win at the end of the day.
And you see how important that is from the top, right? And God bless it. I just want everybody to appreciate, when you're going out to, cut that
think
extra
about
flower.
this, Bull Moose. What if when Jim Harbaugh was under heat, what if Michigan had said, okay, yeah, you haven't beaten Ohio State in a million years. We're going to get rid of Jim Harbaugh. Look what you would be missing out. 2 national championship semifinals, 2 Big Ten titles, beat Ohio State's ass 3 times. You'd be missing out on that because there's no guarantee if you had fired Harbaugh and brought somebody else in that this would happen. So we are in a knee-jerk society where if you don't get it done under my timeline, yes, it needs to go. And a lot of times that's a big mistake.
Well, then, and a lot of times that's why, we will wait and we will see. I thought he was segueing into where you got to work out, put the time in, because Spenny, it doesn't happen overnight, does it?
Does not happen
isn't
overnight.
that where I would, when you're giving us and I'm texting you at night or somebody's texting you, you're like, dude, I'll send it when I'm done.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
I'm at Planet Fitness.
At Planet Fitness. Tell us
Chest
about
day
it.
to day, iron chest, barrel chest. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, could feel comfortable on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Let's talk about Outdoor Equip, a co-official equipment provider of Woodward Sports, Michigan-grown, family-owned, bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, even weed whippers, Liberty trailers, Generac generators, and the weather's coming. It's raining, miserable. If it gets colder, you know what you're going to need? You're going to need those SnowX plows and salters. Outdoor Equip Co. has it all. Buy it, rent it, 0% financing. They'll even deliver it to your doorstep. Get a hold of them today. Tell them Big D Energy sent you. OutdoorEquipCo.com. Boom, boom. Big D Energy. Here, Woodward Sports on this Thursday. Uncle Terry Foster, D-Mac, BMG, Spenmo Racks. Hit the top of the hour. We were talking about a little bit difference in the Lions. Terry Foster let us know that Larry Fitzgerald, Hall of Famer and all, much respected, fine young man,
I'm sure,
but was ignorant to that this isn't the same old Lions that has done differently here. We're talking about all this at the top of the hour. Spending. I thought this came across, and I thought this would be a good time to segue. We're going to talk Michigan. We're going to talk, the Bulls, Alabama, stuff like this. Get into it. But did you know, Terry, when you see this, is Detroit really have the worst records in all of Detroit or in all of professional sports on every angle? If you are looking at this right now on the board, the 2023 Pistons, right, which are projected 6-7. We know the losing streak. When they put up the 19 Red Wings, I literally was like, 1919, they played 82. Yeah. And I was like, no, 2000. That's to Neil's argument. That's all it is to Neil's argument is the fact is that look at what Steve Yzerman's done in 4 years, what he took over for the Wings, that team. We all know that Tiger season. Dude, that last game, Terry, felt like a World Series game to everybody that we didn't lose 120 games that season.
Beat Minnesota.
Remember down at that was like a World Series game.
It was nuts.
And then, like, what, Spenny, Mikey, you guys were younger, but do you remember 0-16?
I do.
Yes.
Right? Remember, like that was real. All that stuff is reality. I mean, no wonder it's Detroit versus everything and the resilience and stuff like this. I guess, different things come to mind, but I don't think that it tells me that, wow, we've been around. First of all, the only way you can have those records is if you've competed and you've been around for a while, right?
Right. And do you recover from that? But I tell you one thing, it won't go up there, but the most embarrassing thing with the Lions, to me, wasn't the 0-16. It was when Matt Millen took over and the Lions lost a bunch of games right at the beginning, and they finally won, and him and Bill Ford Jr. Hugging each other, laughing and having a great time after they won a game. I guess that they were 1-8 or something at that point.
Just didn't get it. You knew they
didn't get it.
Now in retrospect or whatever like that, was that something that you knew from day one wasn't going to work, or did you believe that it was going to work like everybody around here? Like, no. I mean, like, did the Patricia, did the Matt Millen help expose the Patricia or expose the Holmes of how good it is from being how bad it was?
Well, I knew Matt Millen wasn't going to work.
Right.
And in fact, the day that he was hired, they were at the Marriott in Pontiac. And I put in a call to one of my boys with the Oakland Raiders who knew Matt Millen. The dude was in tears. And he said, Matt doesn't know what he's doing. And that's my boy. And I know y'all going to be frying him every day, and he'll deserve it, but I don't want to see it. And so later that day, I saw Bill Ford Jr. It was in some back room or something. I said, hey, why don't we do something? Why don't you guys do something? You just hired Matt Millen. Why don't you come back out and say, we made a mistake, or it was a joke. We're not actually hiring him. And he was like, oh, Matt's going to be able to learn on the job. You don't learn how to run an organization on the job.
Didn't they pull him out of the TV booth? Or
he was in the TV booth.
Analyst or whatever. You're telling me that GM in the NFL, the Colts tried it with Jeff Saturday and different, as a coach and stuff like that. You just don't do that.
Last?
No, I get it. I get it. This doesn't work. So you knew that. Now the same thing, like leading into, how about with the Quintricia regime?
All right, here's what I was told.
You could tell. I know you could tell from day one.
No, but here's what I was told. I was told, with Matt Patricia, don't go into this job thinking that you're Bill Belichick. If you do, you will fail. If you come in as Matt Patricia or whoever you are, you might have a shot. From day one, he came in like, I'm Bill Belichick, and you're not. Nobody is except Bill Belichick. So he made that mistake. And plus, I had heard that he came into town like he knew everything. He was an ass to everybody, an ass to his players, ass to his coaches, even an ass to people who were waiting on him in the restaurant.
I always tell everybody he was an ass to everybody but me.
Except you?
Except for me. He was a nice. I could like that's sort of the whole thing. But I get it, right? Terry, most of the time people, are nice to me for some reason or another.
You had rings and.
Hey, you know what it is? I could, and I think that's what it is, right? When he looked at me, he was like, "Oh, well, there's somebody else with as many rings as I have, or whatever." And it would explain later where it would come off. He would come off that way, but you understand.
You're a festive guy.
What's that?
You're a festive guy.
You know that I am.
Right.
Have I changed over the 30 years that you've known me from? I mean, my behaviors may have changed, but the way that I am as a person, absolutely not. I could say the same for you. So that's the whole thing of and that's why it's really cool to sit here, because I sit here from the locker side of it. Terry sits there from sort of the reporter side of it, and we give you sort of this is what we see. So you and you can't bullshit. There's no bullshit with you guys and stuff like this. So in seeing that, so in saying that, that's why with conviction you could say that why this regime for the Lions isn't any of that, right?
Right. But let me make a confession.
Please.
If I were doing a job interview of Dan Campbell, I never would have hired him.
No.
I would have said, oh, no, this dude is too crazy. He's going to come to Detroit and lose and lose and lose. I never would have hired him. But then the way it's played out and the way that he motivates, and I think, his burst of energy overshadows that he can coach. Like, he can organize a team. He knows what position to put players in. So we lose focus of that because he says so many crazy things. For instance, Hubcap Day. Do you know what he also said on Hubcap Day or Kneecap Day? We got to construct a team that can beat the Green Bay Packers, the Chicago Bears, and the Minnesota Vikings. I'd never heard that from a coach who took over for the Lions. But yet I've been told by NFL people for years, don't worry about beating Dallas. Don't worry about beating Washington. What you need to do, construct a team that can offset Aaron Rodgers. Construct a team that can offset the Chicago Bears defense when they were good. Construct a team that can make life miserable for Kirk Cousins. Just worry about those three teams.
Construct a team that can own your division.
Right.
Own your division.
Worry about those. Everything else will fall into place. He said that also during we're going to bust some kneecaps or eat them or whatever we're going to do. So he says very succinct and smart things, but it gets lost in all of this drama and craziness that he talks also.
Well, it's his conviction. Right, it's his genuine conviction. Right. When he talks, is that he doesn't believe. But here's the whole thing. And as you're explaining that, I'm thinking Yellowstone. If you've watched the movie Yellowstone, I'm thinking because Sheila had to have the ranch, to have the wild horse, to be able to run around, to figure it out, which is him, but also needed the cow hand, whatever it is, to break the right in the Brad home. They needed those two guys to be together. This is a yin and yang. These guys are connected, even though they didn't come in together. Right? You ask people around the league that one was hired first, and then the other was hired.
And the Lions did it the wrong way but it worked.
They did it the same old Lions way.
Right.
But these guys. Right, Terry, as much of anybody are connected at the hip. Would you not say?
Oh, yeah,
yin and yang. So to your point, all that, and you tell me because you're the media guy, you translate hearing all this craziness, as you say it, out of Dan Campbell because now you understand his language, but Brad Holmes is able to translate it also too, right?
Right.
You know exactly where they're coming from out of there.
They're
right?
both I hate to steal a line from back in the day, but they're both wild and crazy guys. Do you see how Brad Holmes celebrates when he gets the player he wants? Oh, he's slapping backs and killing people. He's high-fiving fans. And when you talk to people who meet Dan Campbell, It's the guy you see at the podium is the very same guy. He's out there. He's wild. He wants to greet you. He's really into this. And if the way this thing plays out, maybe you put we got a Barry Sanders statue at Ford Field. Maybe you had a Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell statue somewhere, even if it's just inside the stadium.
Listen, there'll be Sheila, there'll be Brad, there'll be all this other stuff. And here, Terry, last point before we go to break. Peaceful Tim says, why is it funny how stupid teams never seem to get the obvious injuries? They pretend they don't exist. And then this time they tackle it from day one, right?
Right.
And they did it different. And that's because what you're telling, when Terry Foster sits here and goes, I've been around this city and all these different things, but this is different now. This is different, and then it explains why.
Let me tell you one thing that's different. The old man, William Clay Ford.
Yeah.
He hired bad people.
He hired his buddies.
Then he had drinking buddies and stuff.
Yeah,
but then
I get it.
He would meddle.
I was his drinking buddy.
He didn't
back
know
then.
anything about personnel in the NFL, but he's still making suggestions on who to draft, who to sign. He don't know anything about that.
What is your favorite? I always use this I always give it to you, right? 3 Mile Island, Terry Foster.
Yeah.
Right? What is it now? If it used to be 3 Mile Island between the defense, the offense, and special teams, nobody knowing, what do you call this team at Ford Field right now?
Kumbaya.
Kumbaya, baby. Uncle T says kumbaya. Spenny, you know what else is kumbaya? I mean, it should be. It can be. If you listen to us here at Big D, it's your insurance. Yes, it's your insurance. Why would you not do what we do here at Woodward Sports Network? Get covered by my buddy Mark at Swiss Insurance Group. Yes, Swiss INS. You hear me talk about them all the time. Doesn't matter the football playoffs. The end of the season is coming up. The college football stuff like this. You need your home. You need your auto. Give my buddy Mark a call today. 248-800-4177 or go online. SwissINS.com. Tell them Big D Energy we sent you.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
RIP to the same old Lions. Big thanks to Sheila, Brad, and Dan for putting them to rest. And what else has found a grave? Same old rock, paper, scissors. Jack Labrador has revolutionized that tired game with 2 new symbols and a franchise-changing 3-point play. Discover the action at jacklabrador.gg now and find out why. Once you go Jack, you never go back.
Yeah. Big D Energy on this Thursday. Darren McCarty, Terry Foster, Spenmo Rocks, BMG. It's talking about a lot of different things. Talking about how this Lions ain't different. Terry's been all across this great country, following all of our great teams from the state, professional, and college, and he just wanted to let you know it's kumbaya. Not 3 Mile Island.
Or maybe
and
it should be Makuna Makata.
No, Hakuna Matata.
Matata, whatever
Hakuna Matata.
Since we're doing a Lions thing.
Yeah.
Makuna
Kumbaya, Hakuna Matata. I like it. No, it ain't Oak Island, guys, because we found something. And I will even say that. Don't blasphemize Oak Island when the season is still going on. So we know that. Anyways, Tuesday nights. Catch it. What is it? History Channel. Anyways, Terry, I wanted to ask you right now, college football season, did you know what was going on?
Yeah, only because there's a game in front of me now.
Absolutely.
Other than that, no.
SMU, number 24 ranked, playing Boston College in the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. So I know where it's at. It's in Boston. Actually, I'll be heading there this weekend, Restival.
Yeah.
You should have gone there early to see the game in person.
Yeah, probably not. Anyways, Spenny, your SMU Mustangs are down 10-7.
Yeah, last time I checked, SMU was a minus 650 favorite. So Boston College could pull this out. That's quite the upset. They're
a couple minutes left.
Point favorite.
Anyways, so Terry, if I asked you what bowl of the season is the Wasabi Fenway Bowl, would you know? No, me either.
I just
but are you paying attention to the bowls?
No, I'm not. Ever since they have the college playoffs, I've just taken the rest of the bowls and just thrown them in the garbage. I don't care.
And why would you?
Well, some people say, well,
unless it was
the
your
bowls
team, right?
Good. Yeah, Chippewas are in the bowl. I might watch it. Probably won't, but But you're putting people in with 5 and 7 records. If you get 2 and 6 and 6 teams, what are you playing for? Who cares?
So exactly. So all right, let's go straight to it. Go to this weekend. Go to the obviously number 1 Michigan Wolverines playing the number 4 Alabama Crimson Tide.
Right.
Break this game down for me.
How about this? This is a must-win for Michigan from this standpoint. If Alabama, who's as close to the sun as they've been in many, many years, and Michigan, who has its best team probably ever, if Michigan still can't beat Alabama, they will never beat Alabama in a big bowl game. Now, they might beat them at the Wasabi Fenway Bowl when both teams are 7 and 5 or something. But when the teams are at the top of their game, Michigan will never beat Alabama if they can't win this game.
But isn't this the perfect when this came out, right? When the fact that it was Michigan playing Alabama, to me, what popped into my mind was immediately all the questions and all the stuff about cheating, all that is out the window. As you win this game, you've answered everything because you've gone through Nick Saban and Alabama and won and got to finish it off.
It's not out the window to me because you, quote unquote, had to cheat to get there. And just because you win the game once you're there, it doesn't mean everything disappears. So,
but to my point, yes, what you did in the past, but the fact that, do you think that there's any shenanigans going on, before you face Alabama? Like, this is the best test. Doesn't matter how many weapons you were trying to sneak in, right? You didn't get any in, and now you got to fight.
Well,
with no weapons.
There are shenanigans, and there's a big shenanigan going on with Alabama. They hired Michigan's linebacker coach.
I know.
You don't think they had that guy under the spotlight? So, okay, what do they do in this situation? What do they do this? So, yeah, I mean, this is what Michigan is doing, what Alabama's always done, what Georgia has always done, what LSU did when they were good. Michigan is on the shady side of goodness now. But that's the way you win championships in college football. You cannot win a championship by saying, okay, guys, I want you to come here and let's talk academics, and we're not going to do that. No, you got to slip them some money, or you got to do some other things a little unscrupulous if you want to win the big prize.
So you're saying now Michigan is big prize qualified, right? So they're swimming in the waters that they need to be swimming in.
They're swimming with the sharks now.
Swimming with the sharks, and only the sharks win championships.
Right.
Right?
But the problem is their fan base. Oh, no, Michigan doesn't do that. No. Yes, you do. That's why you're in this position. I've always thought the SEC was shady. And I've always thought the only Big Ten team that could beat an SEC school in the college football playoffs was Ohio State. Because Ohio State was the only program, in my mind, that was doing stuff. Well, Illinois
but
did
Ohio
too.
State has always had SEC receivers, right? Like they always
and SEC tendencies.
Right, exactly. But the talent right, where it's related to that. It was always, yes, Michigan has the run game, but never has the game to compete on the bigger level against these teams. Because when they did play them, what happens?
Speed took over.
Right? Is that the biggest difference, right, Terry? Whereas what are we going to see in this game? Like, is that the big so when speed is you're against, and I'm going to relate it back to, we're playing a fast team or something like this back in the day, right? You want to take away their time and space. You want to clutter, make it more of your style of game. My question to you: why am I not hearing anything out of Michigan? Isn't it quiet this time of year, like going into the bowl, as opposed to last year at this time? Do you read into that as a confidence thing? Do you read into this as, like, how do I read into this? Because to me,
I think Michigan is always quiet, but the noise has already come out. The cheating stuff, that story is already passed. So that's behind you now. So now all you do is focus on Alabama. So this doesn't surprise me.
No, but I mean, but why are we not hearing? Yeah, and I know
what do you want to hear now?
Well, I don't know
because practices are closed.
I thought but didn't last year going into the TCU game? It was just maybe Spenny. What am I trying? Was it more of the fan base? That we're not hearing from.
There's a little more shit talking going on
last year, right?
Well, you know what? The fan base, if you're talking about the fan base, they thought they were going to kick TCU's ass.
I thought they were going to kick TCU's
ass. Everybody did. So was that like a learning of is that why we're not hearing everything?
Right. I think there is a fear factor. Michigan people don't respect many programs. They respect the hell out of Alabama. Now, they still think their team's going to win, but they know that an ass kicking could be coming.
Where's the confidence level for Michigan fans? Like where is your confidence level? You're in for a fight. Like, this is gonna be a big boy game. Do you agree, Terry, that this Michigan team is the most well prepared? And I would have loved for them to be healthy with all their seniors and all their guys. But are they prepared the most? This team, Jim Harbaugh team,
I think
to
it's
win?
The most talented. I can't speak to preparedness because. I will go back to the video when Michigan people found out they're going to play Alabama rather than Florida State. They were like, oh, my God. It was like they saw a ghost. Now, what the Michigan people were saying is that they were outraged because Florida State didn't make it. No, they were afraid to play Alabama because Alabama is the big bad wolf that's not the big bad wolf this year. So when we talk about preparedness.
But are they or aren't they? Are they the big bad wolf?
No,
they're not. Okay, I know what you're saying.
They have been, but the perception is.
But I know I don't care about.
No longer the big bad wolf, but they're still damn good.
But Terry, my thing is that when you're saying not the big because it's sheep and wolf, I'd see more sheep and wolves clothing with this Alabama team, just because the adversity they faced early. Right, they haven't faced this quarterback. Spenny, what were you saying? They haven't faced a quarterback like this. As far as the mobility, Mikey, that you were worried about, as far as the defense, is this the most talented quarterback that you face?
Oh, without a doubt.
But and yet you don't hear him get any credit.
No, I think he didn't get credit for, obviously, earlier on in the season. He was struggling a little bit, but as Alabama came along a little bit, he was starting to catch more eyes and get a little bit more credit. He's a good quarterback for sure.
Is this Alabama team in what week did they lose to Texas? 2, 3?
Yeah.
Right? Is it the same team that Michigan's playing? No. Absolutely not. Right?
No, but you still have on your resume this season that, the score was close, but I think Texas kind of kicked their ass a little bit. It's like every time Alabama sort of got into the game, Texas made a play, particularly offensively.
And that's why Texas is playing Washington, for the other semifinal game. Do you have a...
I still see this in the chat. Real Cream of Wheat says FSU should have gotten in. They won every single game. I think the only people that want to see FSU in the playoffs without the starting quarterback are Michigan fans and FSU fans. Like, nobody wants to see that game. No, everybody knows they're not one of the best teams in the country without their starting quarterback.
No, I agree, and I think that the whole conversation wouldn't be going up to the game to whatever that would be the cheating.
Yeah.
Right. That's all we sort of hear about.
So I look at this from a selfish standpoint.
Well, talk to us, Uncle T.
Entertain me. New Year's Eve should be
Are
all
you
about.
entertained?
No, it should be all about Terry Foster's enjoyment. All right, I'm going to enjoy watching Michigan play Alabama way more than Michigan playing Florida State. So
I think everybody will. It's going to be a much better game.
yeah, absolutely.
Nobody wanted Florida State in there to go in there and get blown out by 30 by any team they play.
Okay, wait a sec. Let me go over to Mikey.
Well, he wanted Florida
Which
State.
way? Right, because he's our Michigan fan there. Yeah. But do you not want, if it's about winning a championship, do you not want the path less traveled? And wouldn't the path less traveled be Florida State?
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at you for it.
No, obviously you would want the easier path, and you would want to play a Florida State team that you would think you would get a win. I'm not saying you guarantee a win because we thought we'd get a win against TCU, but I obviously would have wanted to play Florida State. I'm not upset. I think Alabama's obviously the better team. Florida State without Jordan Travis, they don't deserve to be in there. But you got to go in. You got to beat the better team in Alabama, and these are the steps you have to take if you want to win a national championship.
Did you just say you got to beat the better team in Alabama, even though Alabama's number 4? Oh, better team in Florida State.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I was just making sure.
All right, brother man. Bottom line.
Yes, sir.
Who would you rather see Michigan play, Alabama or Florida State?
As for them getting the easier win, I would rather see them play Florida State. For sure.
All right.
It's true.
I understand
if I was a Michigan
it.
fan, I would say the same.
Listen, these are a lot of tough questions, and you know what? When we come back for break, Spenny, I'm going to ask him the question I asked you before.
Okay.
Right, which you are unbiased to, but because I'm going to think about it, and the people have to think about it. But there's no question where to go if you're hungry, is there?
No, there's no question. And that place is Big Boy. That should be your only stop because comfort foods are back at Big Boy. Try the veal parmesan or the new Southern Comfort chicken bowl. How about breakfast? The loaded potato pancakes are back. They got the classic lumberjack or Santa Fe Garden. Also, the new apple pie hotcakes that are too good to miss. You can top it all off with a gingerbread shake for dessert. All of that and more at your local Big Boy, so make sure you stop there today.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Welcome back, Big D Energy, D-Mac, T-Foss, Spenmo, Rax, BMG. The crew is here. Neil will be back next Tuesday. T-Foss, you're in tomorrow too, right?
Yes.
I gotta believe Lindsay in?
I believe so.
There it is. Look at these two, the baddest of them all.
So I can make fun of Lindsay. It's great.
Yeah.
You do a hell of a job, bud.
You know, I tried to get I tried to get Lindsay to be the next Pistons coach. But boy, how would that have worked out? Would they be on a 28-game losing streak?
No.
He wouldn't owe me $100.
It's true.
Oh, facts.
That's right.
Oh, there you go. And yeah, he's going through it right now a little bit with this. I can't wait to see, like, his San Francisco team,
Gentry,
his Brock
should have
Purdy.
bet 1,000 on it.
Yeah.
No, Mike, you stay in your lane. You don't need to take. Listen, right? It's the old $1,000. Then you'd be like sweating it the whole time the bet was on. Where Lindsay's wipe his ass with it and say whatever like that. The 100 is good enough. It makes a point, right? You dented it in. He's gonna give you that Lindsey Hunter look because you got him for $100. It wasn't like he dropped the 20 out of his wallet.
Did you cash your futures bet out?
No, I did not.
Wait, what is it? What's the what is the give me it.
So I put it in a futures bet before the season started, and it's 3 legs. It's Dan Campbell to win Coach of the Year, Micah Parsons to win Defensive Player of the Year, and then Jalen Carter to win Defensive Rookie in the Year.
Okay.
And $20 pays out $8,000.
And what's the buyout right now?
It was like $600.
I'm telling him he should cash it out because there's no way Micah Parsons wins Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
I put in another future, and it was Tyreek Hill and Jalen Carter. And right as Tyreek Hill got injured, I cashed that one out for a lump sum. So
did you cover both bets?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so now he can let it ride. See, so smart.
I'm just saying.
I get it, but you got to die on some hills of gambling, Spenny.
That's $600 for free.
Spenny, I understand that, but in the terms of
but
gambling,
you can get 8,000.
There's no
time out.
way.
It's a unit. You guys, you're not the gambling mentality. The $20 is a unit play.
Yeah.
So he covered his units by a bet because if you're a true gambler, one bet you don't sweat more than the others, even everything else, because it's a unit play. He's covered his units, right? His other bet covered his units bet. So now it's is this the hill you die on? Because it's all sort of gravy, and he's actually set the margin, right, of $8,000. I get it. Now, if he wants to if it goes down to 5 or something else in this next week, because that's what I would say. Ride it out this week, see what Micah Parsons does against, right? So, but it's a unit bet. But where else is he going to get Spenny 20 for $8,000?
Where's he going to get 20 for $600? He's going to get nothing.
No, I understand. No, he's going to still get the buyout after this week to whatever else. What's it going to go down? The worst. Micah Parsons, doesn't have a tackle, doesn't have whatever like this?
Yeah.
It'll be 540, 560. You know what I'm saying? Which is units. So then...
Yeah, but what's $600? He can't even pay his liquor bill with $600.
I could use $600 right
You
now.
could, but this dude's a baller, man.
That's true.
He goes into the bar, $600, he still got
Mike,
a tab.
I'm worth to see where he stands after this week and see what it is, because then you have to say, is it a bigger unit? But you got to, that's what gambling is. Yeah. What hill are you going to die on? He's free rolling.
I didn't come 16 weeks to cash it out now.
Well, I mean, that's just like the and again, I don't know if that's good. That's a gambler's mentality right there. I got another gambler mentality. But Spenny, and I broached this to Spenny before, and he says doesn't apply to him. So I got to be specific to everybody out there. This is for the Michigan fan and the Lions fan in you, right? So if you are a Michigan fan and a Lions fan, my question is coming up, because here we go. It's a new year for 2024, and you can have a wish, and your wish is that one of your teams wins, but the other one can't. What would you do? Who are you sacrificing? Are you sacrificing your Detroit Lions in their first playoff home win so that your Michigan Wolverines can beat Alabama, and I'm not even going to double caveat because we don't have time, and to win a national championship? Is that worth the sacrifice? Have you seen enough? Can your Lions fandom resolve, or do you need that first playoff win more than you need Michigan to win a national championship or even beat Alabama? Spenny, you're a Sparty fan, so I know that.
That's easy.
Yeah,
Spenny is like...
No, that's what he said. That's a stupid question when I asked him, and I said, well, it wasn't for him. It's because Neil's out for all the Lions fans. Terry, I'll go. So, Spenny, you're taking Lions, right?
Yep.
You sure?
Oh, 1,000%.
Just one more to reiterate.
Let me preface. I'm not a fan of Michigan or the Lions.
No, you're a professional. You're a professional. You're a professional in the reporting field.
I'd much rather see the Lions win that home playoff game to get that stench off of their resume.
So let me ask you this, Terry Foster, as the reporter that doesn't go either way, which is more important to their organization, is it more important to Michigan and their fan base and the fact to have a national championship and not a half national championship, on their resume for the past whatever years, or is it more important to what Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, the Lions, everything is built here to have that home playoff game?
I think it's more important for the Lions because the Lions have been so pathetic for so long that you never thought this day would come. You knew at some point Michigan was going to be in this position. They're going to win the Big Ten. They want Michigan to be in the national semifinals, so it's not as shocking. But I think the Lions, more than anything, need to get this off their resume. They need to win a playoff game.
All right, Michael.
Michael's the only one we should talk to about
No,
this.
I understand. This question was actually for him. Does Juicy want in on this? This is such a good question that we brought in Hollywood Jeff Iafrate, but first to you.
So it's just Michigan beating Bama, not Michigan winning.
No, it was going to be the 3 parts. No, but I made it 2-part. It's either Lions home game or Michigan winning national championship.
Oh.
So it was getting through both of them, right? You can have a Michigan national championship or Lions, and I'll even say Lions.
Get to the NFC championship.
Get to the NFC championship.
Honestly, I love Michigan, but I think I would just have to go to the Lions for this city, everything that they've been through, how crazy downtown would be, how crazy Ford Field would be, just everything surrounding the Lions going to the NFC Championship. Even though I love Michigan and I do think they're going to beat Bama and then go to the national championship, just for everything this city has been through revolving around the Lions, I'm going with them.
The face that ruins the place. Juicy Jeff, what do you say? Do you have an answer to the question?
I just walked in. Repeat the question.
The question is that this is for Michigan and University of Michigan and Detroit Lions fans. Which would you sacrifice? What's more important? The Lions win a home game, get to the NFC Championship, or Michigan wins the Natty? Which one? You have to sacrifice one for the other. Which one do you sacrifice? And if you do, see, Mikey went sheer personal, and I think he went professional also. I think he took everybody else to what Terry said, to the gravity of what hasn't been done around here and how it would affect. What do you say?
Juicy, what's the bigger party?
Well, if I'm going personal, D-Mac, the bigger party would be a Lions home playoff win.
That's the bigger part. You know what? And Spenny, I don't know what the where we're at with the chat thread, but
it's 80-20.
80-20 as far as Lions and it sort of blows me away a little bit. I thought it'd be closer, Spenny, didn't you?
Yeah, I did too. But you got to think there's a lot of guys who aren't Michigan fans, and even some Michigan fans will probably say they want the Lions to win.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing from you, Michael Gentry,
yes, sir,
is the fact that the Michigan Wolverines can recoup, regroup, whatever. The fact of not getting there or getting over the hump, to what Terry said, but the fact of we all need this more because our Lions fandom, it is really the 30 years, everybody's sharing into it.
Mm-hmm.
This is more of a global, this is seems more of a global issue than it does just a, regional issue.
Yeah, but the thing is, the Lions are king, even when they stink. They're king in this city.
Roar with that. You know what? I can't segue any better than the king of the city with the king of how to protect your city or all your personal items. You know it. You love it. Guardian Alarm. They're here to offer you customized solutions from real experts, professional technicians. Take the time to recommend security automation solutions specific to your needs, but I need you to call Guardian Alarm today. The number 1-800
stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring. Call anytime, day or night. Know the Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as it's needed, but I need you to call the number 1-800
stay out.
Technology backed by people. Yes, real people, flesh and blood. Safety and security deserves dogs have been proven to work with people who have been proven to care. Business, pleasure. Who cares? Guardian Alarm. They got your back. Call them today. 1-800
stay out. Stay out of letting on 3-on-1 breaks, Red Wings.
All right, that's it. And you know what? Maybe if you could do that, you could keep the puck out of your net. Guardian Alarm, they can't play goal, but they can protect your stuff. You look security expert. Tell them Big D Energy we sent you.
Yeah.
if they could. Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like a landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equipment Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Ave, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today. Find the brand you want, LesStanford.com. NFC Championship, baby! Yeah. Big D Energy, D-Mac, Uncle Terry Foster, Spend More Racks, BMG. Talking about, 100 people or so in. Michigan fans, you only get one. Lions get to NFC Championship. Michigan wins 90, 75, 3-1. 75%. Let's go. Let's get to the NFC Championship. Mike, you were saying during the break, though, that you had a little caveat on it. I was trying to make you look like a good guy. But you said, whoa.
We can leave that caveat on.
We can? Oh, you don't want to tell on yourself that you're not such a good guy?
Here, I want you to tell on yourself.
Yeah.
When the Lions won the division title, players were in tears.
Yes.
They were very emotional. Did you cry?
I actually talked about that yesterday, or was it 2 days ago? I was watching the game with my son, and I did get a little emotional. No tears were shed. But I was trying to explain to him that this has never happened in my whole entire lifetime. But I think if they win that playoff game, they'll be flowing.
I choked up, Terry. I choked up, not on the win. We were celebrating. Like, that was excitement in here when Malafanu intercepted it, and everybody was in the live stream. It wasn't until I saw the post, and Dan Campbell's got this down, right? He's got this post locker room speech down. Because, like I said, the genuineness or his self-awareness in his locker room, right? Where did he go, right? This is for you. Bring me the old guard, right? This is for you. This one's for you. Now the rest is for us, right? It's sort of paying that tribute, right? And to see, like, all that stuff, and you hear guys like Taylor Deck. It reminded me of 97 so much. All the stuff of losing. For us Red Wings back 93, 94, 95, 90, like all those, and never seeing if you'd ever, because I know Taylor Decker, as much as he's wished it, and guys that have been there, didn't know if they'd ever see something like this, to see everybody accomplish that. That's what got me.
That's why, from talking to former Lion players, they've always wanted a former player to either run the organization or to be the coach. Because the one thing they said is they understand the pain. When you bring in a new guy, say, I wasn't here in 1975. I wasn't here in 1989. So what? But the players have that pain and stamped into their chest, and so they want to stop it.
And where else? I've preached this since day one. Look at his coaching staff. Mm-hmm. From Hank Fraley, Antoine Randall, right? We know what had happened. The only non-football guy, and I don't know, if I'm speaking out, did Ben Johnson play somewhere?
Not professionally.
So what I'm saying is that, but it's surrounded by all these other guys, which everybody doing their job. I love the way the self-awareness to whether it's, like they're all in it together. To me, and I always mention, because you bring it up 3 Mile Island, it seems they're all in it together when they need to be in it together the way it's supposed to be.
I think what I'm trying to get, Dan Campbell understands the pain.
Oh.
He understands the pain.
And my point was, I think that the leaders of all their individual, right, knows the pain too, because they, for the most part, were players. And then if you didn't, right, I played for the greatest hockey coach in the history. He didn't play. Scotty Bowman. He did not play. He got an injury when he was young. That's why he coached. So it's understanding to put people in the right positions, to have it, and it's clicking. And so my point is, no better spot that is showing the self-awareness to the program than when he does his post-game speeches.
Right.
And where his game balls go and everything else. It's always there. You mentioned Brad Holmes. When he makes the draft pick. Look at Brad Holmes in the dressing room.
Oh, my God. The guy is crazy.
Like, look at him in the dressing room, even, like, everybody intent. Like, you watch, all you have to do is watch a video. And don't look at, like, watch somebody who's taking it from, who's not a professional or whatever. You see that they're all engaged. And you can't buy that, Terry. That's the secret sauce that everybody's trying to sell. When they go to hire a coach or hire the secret sauce that they come in there and go, hey, I got you $1 in here, right. And you know what? I got the secret, and if you drink this, you know.
You know what I'm fearful of? Sheila Hamm. She's just a little thing. I think Brad Holmes might break her, slap her on the back. If I was her, I would run out the room on draft night.
See, I don't see that. I see that at this point, like Sheila takes it, and all of a sudden she turns around, and it's one of these like, whoa, sternum check, and Brad's like this, and taking the power back. No, I love it. I mean, I love it because it's a genuineness. And you've been around, Terry. Like, you've been around all from our locker rooms to the bad boys to the going to work to all the losing to the like all this stuff. You know what's real and what's not. The minute you walk in there, and like it's okay, everybody's full of shit. Let's go see which full of shit.
Right.
We're gonna report on.
It's a organization built off of emotion of the coach, emotion of the GM, which trickles down to the emotion of the players.
I guess so my one question, you going into this, what do we need to see out of the Dallas game? If you ask me, the one thing that I want out of this Dallas game is we come out of there healthy. You see the way that, to me, the biggest part of this year is this part of the year, as we see with other teams, it's guys going down. I just want us to be healthy. I don't really care. Yeah, I want the 2 seed and the 1 seed and hope it plays out, and I think we got a chance. But I just want to be out there healthy. Am I wrong with that, or am I being small-sighted in that?
I guess we see things differently. I'm not going to call you wrong, but I want to see, can the Lions, from the Dallas game, we're going to be able to see if they can really compete for a championship. I mean, they're right on the cusp. They're right underneath everything. But if you go into Dallas and you win, that means you can win this whole damn thing, because Dallas is not losing at home. But then if you go there and just get your ass run up and down the field, I'm not going to call you a pretender, but it just means that you really can't win this thing.
And you know what, Terry, you snapped me back into place, because what you just said is, when you just said you're not, you meant to say, young man, you sound a little bit more scared than you do stoked. And then Terry's a little bit more scared. And no, but that's the whole thing, is I got to revert back, where that would be the more, if the thing that I'm most scared about is, right, the injuries and stuff like that, but what the task is at hand, that's the message. What you just said is what Dan Campbell, look at what we can go and accomplish. Right. Look at the position. Yeah, this team doesn't lose at home. Dallas Cowboys, stuff like this. But what if we can go in there? Who's playing? One of the best things about this Lions team is the way they've turned it around and played on the road, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Isn't it? Aren't they? To me, at times they're a better road team than they are a home team.
Right.
Especially playing in the Dome. So.
But now you're going into the belly of the beast.
But that's what you want.
Right.
That's what you want. Isn't that what you want to embrace? How many bellies of the beast can you get to win a championship? You can't. Can you?
Well, you're going to have to go at least one place.
At least one.
Right.
Right? So this might be the great, and for lack of a better term, this is like the tryout. This is the exhibition, right? So at the end of the day, it doesn't count. Right? Sure, it counts towards if you want home field and stuff like this, but you get a reprieve. Right? So, let me tell you about Dispo Dispensary. Experience the Dispo difference this Christmas season. Dispo is giving away a TV as well as two $100 gifts, in-store gift cards per week at participating locations for the month of December. Nobody does it like the Dispo family. Unwrap the joy of Dispo Dispensary every week. Join them in celebrating for the holidays. See store for more details. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com. Your local cannabis plug.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Join Woodward Sports and Spenny's new favorite, Long Drink, live every home game for the official Lions VIP tailgate. You know where it is. Eastern Market, Shed 5, always a bash, 9:30 a.m. until game time. Back better than ever. You could be a VIP, food, beverages, entertainment, all of that. You know what to do. BullseyeEventGroup.com or win some from Woodward Sports today. Just subscribe to YouTube. Follow us on Instagram and direct message Lions VIP. So Terry Foster, Darren McCarty, Big Michael Gentry, Spend Mo Racks, wrapping it up here. Thanks for joining us here on a Thursday. Predictions, Terry? Alabama, Michigan game. Do you have a score?
I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I think Michigan hasn't seen a team like Alabama. I mean, the two games, Penn State, they're not that good. Ohio State is solid. But from what I've been told, Nick Saban wants to send Jim Harbaugh to the NFL. That's his goal in this game.
That's what you've been told?
Yeah.
So the idea is to beat him, and that way Jim Harbaugh. So on that, Jim Harbaugh, so Nick Saban defeats Jim Harbaugh in the Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah, I think it'll be 38-34.
Okay, that's first.
It won't be a mollywop, because that's what we're accustomed to.
But does that, the second part, and I'd rather get to that part of the question, and right now, I have the Michigan Wolverines winning by a similar 36-34 final score. So we're right in the same ballpark, close game, stuff like this.
It could come down to who has the ball last.
So my question to you, so if Jim Harbaugh loses, does he go to the NFL? Is he going to the NFL? I guess it's too.
Here's the thing. He wants to go to the NFL.
He wants to. It's whether or not.
Does the NFL really want him, or the right team really want him?
And what they told us a year ago was no.
Correct. And he's a guy that's creating his own juice. So he's got his eye somewhere else. But the thing that I admire about him, even though he's got his eye on the NFL, once he's in with Michigan, he's been able to, at least him and his coaches have been able to focus on the task at hand and to keep this machine rolling.
So what happens if Michigan does win this and wins the national championship? Is his eye still going somewhere else? Is it irrelevant to him if an NFL opportunity presents itself? Is he gone?
I think he wants to go. Doesn't mean he's gonna go, because we never find out the real story with Jim Harbaugh and the NFL and Michigan, because everything is so secretive. But I think he wants to go. He wants to join his brother and see if they can compete and win the next Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, dude, it was inevitable. It wasn't how many years ago? What was it, 10 years ago or whatever, that the brothers were playing San Fran versus Baltimore in the Super Bowl? I'm sure that's conversations that they sort of want to be back. Speaking of New Year's Eve, any big plans? Other than watching the game? Cicerelli's?
Cicerelli's is going down. The boys are going to be in full effect. Shout out to Steak. It's going to be a good time.
That is? That's where the party's going down?
Oh, yeah.
I think I will have a quiet dinner with the wife, and we may or may not see midnight, and we'll have like a little wine toast.
Well, technically, Terry, you could set the alarm for 11:57, wake up,
I could do that.
But I heard isn't the new New York and Nashville?
Nashville's going to be hopping.
The Nashville's going to be hopping? The new New York's in Nashville. Hey, Gentry, you a ball dropper guy, or are you out there in the streets?
Oh, he's dropping balls.
I'll be in attendance with Spenny. I'm not answering.
Right.
Anybody wants to go check out, I will be in Boston at Wrestling all weekend to check that out on IWTV. But tonight down IWR Monroe, we got some wrestling down at the Fraternal Order of Eagles down there. So, yeah. So other than all good.
Yeah.
All right. What? So Lions. Give me Lions prediction this weekend.
I'm afraid they're moving into a hornet's nest. As it stands now, I think Dallas would beat them 31-21.
31-21.
31-24 Cowboys.
31-20. Mikey?
28-24 Lions.
Well, there you go. I'm going to say Lions lose, cover the spread. Anyways, for Terry Foster, Big Michael Gentry, Spenmo Rex, I'm D-Mac. I will be back on Tuesday. Check out Terry. Lindsay tomorrow morning. Deuces.
Peace.